You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer the questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. At the end of the test, you will be given 5 minutes to transfer your answer to an answer sheet. Now look at Part 1. Part 1. You will hear people talking in 8 different situations. For questions 1 to 8, choose the best answer, A, B, or C. Question 1.
Ms. Giovanni, this is Janet from Dr. Rossi's office calling to remind you of your annual physical exam tomorrow at 10:30. Please be on time. The appointment should take about an hour.
Question 2.
Attention all employees. The power outage in plant number 2 has been resolved. However, our main computers are still down. We will be closing the production line early today so that technical services can correct the problem. Plan to leave by 2:30 p.m. unless told otherwise by your supervisor. Please make sure all manufacturing equipment is turned off before you leave. Thank you.
Question 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be arriving at Graceland in just a few minutes. When you get off the bus, please proceed immediately to ticket gate number 4 and wait for your tour guide, Mr. Murray. He will accompany you on your tour of the estate. Mr. Murray is very knowledgeable about Graceland and will share some very interesting facts and information with you. Do not leave any valuables on the bus. If you wish to leave anything behind, please inform the driver and he will put it in the cargo area underneath. The bus will be leaving at 6 p.m. Please be back in the loading area no later than 5:45 to assure a prompt departure. Thank you and enjoy Graceland.
Question 4.
Hello, Mike. This is Dr. Luther from the physics department. I wonder if you could give me a call when you get home. We need you to return the equipment that you borrowed from the lab last week. Another student needs it to perform an experiment in an important exam on Wednesday, and we need to check that everything is in perfect condition. Please drop it off at the office tomorrow morning. Also, a large number of knobs and dials are missing from the parts room. If you know anything about this, please call me at home. My number is 344-7979. Thank you. I'll be at home all evening. Don't worry about the time, even if it is past midnight. I will be staying up all night to work on my new book.
Question 5.
Shall we go to the boat show? It's on for 3 weeks, but you need to book if you want to go on the first night because there's a party.
Really? Let's go. How do you book?
On the internet or by phone. Or there's a form to fill in this week's TV magazine with a discount on each ticket.
I like saving money, but the post's always so slow. I prefer to talk to someone when I'm making a booking. Just leave it to me.
Question 6.
Will you go on working as a gardener when winter comes, Jim? You'll get very cold and wet working outside.
Well, last winter I took a job in a supermarket. They're advertising for staff again at the moment, but I prefer being in the fresh air, even when the weather's bad. I'd really like to get a job abroad, in the sun, but all the ones I've seen need building skills, which I haven't got. So I'll just stay in my present job for the time being.
Question 7.
Sarah, could you do something for me?
Well, it depends what it is.
I want to clean the bedroom windows this afternoon, but I lent the ladder to John. Could you give me a lift to his house and then bring me back with the ladder?
Of course, no problem.
Question 8.
Because of the ski jumping finals, we're late finishing, so there are some changes to this evening's programmes. We won't now show the nature programme about the dolphins found near the Florida coast at 9 o'clock. Instead, Tim Wong's Chinese Kitchen will be at this time, an hour later than advertised. You can see the nature programme at its usual time next week.
Các bạn like video và subscribe kênh để ủng hộ mình nha.
Now look at Part 2. Part 2. You will hear a number of conversations between two people. You will be asked to answer 3 questions about what is said in each conversation. For each question, choose the best answer A, B, or C. Question 9 to 11.
We missed you at yesterday's meeting. Were you ill? You really missed a lot of important information.
I was fine, but there was a big problem in the product development department that kept me busy all day. It seems that the 10-centimeter flange should have been only 1 centimeter. Someone in engineering got the numbers wrong.
Oh man, that's bad. Does the big boss know?
Not yet. I'm going to tell her right now.
Question 12 to 14.
Are you going up? Great. Could you push the button for the 10th floor, please?
Of course. Do you live in this building?
No, I'm just visiting a colleague from work. She recently moved here from another city. She has an apartment on the 10th floor. Do you live here?
Yes, I do. It's not a bad building to live in, really. It's close to all the stores, the rooms are spacious, and there are nice views from the top floors.
Question 15 to 17.
Could I book conference room 3 for a meeting next Friday morning?
That depends. Will you be done before 11 o'clock? The room's already booked from 11 to 1 for a luncheon.
I don't think that'll be a problem. We're scheduled to start at 8 and should be finished by 10.
That should work out then. You can use the chairs that will be set up for the luncheon. Just be sure to put them back in place before you leave.
Question 18 to 20.
How do you always pull off such high grades in English, Harry?
I use a computer flashcard program to remember the irregular forms. It makes studying kind of fun.
Huh? How does that help?
Well, it displays a verb, like freeze for example. Then I have to type in the simple past and past participle forms.
That would be froze and frozen, right?
Right. If I screw up, then it comes up again at the end of my list.
Wow, so it reinforces your shortcomings.
Yeah. It also provides adjectives with synonyms, phrasal verbs with definitions, and it has grammar exercises as well.
That's the end of Part 2.
Các bạn like video và subscribe kênh để ủng hộ mình nha.
Now look at Part 3. Part 3. You will hear a number of talks. You must answer the questions about what is said in each talk. For each question, choose the best answer A, B, or C. Question 21 to 23.
Are you a fan of Asian food? If so, you will love Saigon House, which is at 66 Helen Street. Try some special Vietnamese dishes for lunch, fresh summer rolls, spicy soups, vegetables and meats. And for dinner, how about a special fusion dish, a world-famous French dish with traditional Vietnamese spices? But what really sets the Saigon House apart is its atmosphere. A tropical beach house with tables and wooden ceiling fans make it open and breezy. A life-size sailboat in the main dining room. We hope that before long you will come and see for yourself.
Question 24 to 29.
Right, everyone. About the trip to the Jubilee Arts Centre next Wednesday. As you know, we have tickets for the centre's 2 theatres and the concert hall. Those of you with concert tickets will hear piano music by Chopin and Schumann. Those with tickets for the main theatre will see Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, while people going to the smaller theatre will see The Wild Duck by Ibsen. Although all the theatre and concert tickets have gone, if anyone else would like to join us on the trip, I can get tickets for the Arts Centre Cinema to see the Australian comedy film Spider and Rose. The shows begin at 7:30, but we'll leave early so you can spend time looking round the Arts Centre. The coach will leave here at 3:30 and arrive at the Arts Centre at about 4:45. Let me tell you what you can do there. The centre has a lot for art lovers. In the art gallery there's an exhibition of the history of Russian ballet. It has dresses and shoes worn by famous dancers and photos of past performances. With your student card you can get in very cheaply. There are also some interesting free exhibitions. On the ground floor you can see prize-winning paintings from a children's competition and gold jewellery made by Scottish artists. On the first floor there's an exhibition of South American photographs, and there's no charge for that either. I know some of you hope to do some shopping. The centre has a bookshop on the first floor, and there's a souvenir shop by the ticket office. If you're more interested in clothes and shoes, there's a large shopping centre, 5 minutes walk from the Arts Centre. You'll probably want to eat before the show. The balcony restaurant has a menu with a wide range of meals and waiter service, but it is rather expensive. Or there's the Fountain restaurant, whose special 3-course dinner is good value for money. There's also Charlie's Coffee Bar, which serves coffee, sandwiches and cakes. You can get fruit juices and ice cream from the cinema kiosk. After the shows, the coach will pick us up at the Bridge Street exit. Everyone should be there by 10:20. The 2 plays will finish at around 10:10 or 10:15. I'm afraid concertgoers will have to wait, as the concert finishes earlier, at 10:10.
Questions 30 to 35.
My group has been doing a project on the importance of architecture in people's lives, and whether it has any impact on the lives of people in general. The main part I have played is in the collection of data to find out what effect, if any, various buildings have on people's mood, i.e. whether ugly buildings make people unhappy, and whether beautiful buildings do the opposite. We had originally thought of starting measuring people's reactions by using a questionnaire with about 40 questions, which we were going to hand out to people, including students at the university. But we were worried that doing the questionnaire would be too time-consuming for people to fill in, so we gave up the idea. I then asked several of the postgraduate students for advice. One of them came up with the simple idea of showing people images of various buildings from different eras and styles, instead of giving out the questionnaire, and asking them to indicate how they felt on a scale of 1 to 5 about the images, where 1 was unhappy and 5 was very happy. People would also be given the option of not saying what they felt. Using the scale meant that it would be much simpler to record people's reactions. I decided to follow this advice, and so the first stage was to collect a large number of images. I used Google to print off colour images of views of houses and apartment blocks where people live, and different types of buildings where they work. I started with about 30 or 40, and then reduced them to 10 images. Media resources in the Amory building at the Judd Street branch of the university helped me produce the final images. I had them blown up to A4 size, and we used colour rather than black and white to make the detail on the images clearer. We made 5 sets of images, and for protection when handling, we pasted the images onto hard card. Then, using a machine to wrap them with plastic, we laminated the cards. 5 of us targeted different age groups. We went to a local school where we obtained permission to ask a group of teenagers between 11 and 18. We also asked a sample of the general public, including tourists from all over the world, as they exited the Tate Modern in London, what they thought. We aimed to ask people from different age groups, namely 20 to 40 and 50 and over. What our group learnt most from the project was first of all the value of teamwork. And secondly, we found that we had to appoint a leader to stop us pulling in different directions and falling apart. So this turned out to be an invaluable lesson for all of us. As to the findings, for us they proved intriguing. In the end, the sample consisted of 311 respondents. I thought initially that people wouldn't be interested in taking part. With the youngest age group,
Các bạn like video và subscribe kênh để ủng hộ mình nha.